Hi, welcome to the Science of Feeling Good. I'm your host, Tracy Thomas, and today we're going to be talking about the 10 essential items you need to have stocked in your house for a potential long-term home quarantine. So while I've spent my whole life trying to research and practice and try out all the different ways that I can feel just a little bit better than I did the day before, I am a nutritionist by trade. And so when I stocked my fridge and my cabinets for this potential long-term home quarantine, there are some key items that are going to be helpful for you to keep feeding yourself and your family most healthfully without having to break the bank. And so the first thing that you should be stocking, spoken from the nutritionist here, are frozen vegetables. Vegetables are what are going to be feeding your microbiome, your good bugs, which are the first line of defense in fighting off a potential pathogenic virus. So the more vegetables you eat, the more you are strengthening the good bugs that need all the help they can get for a potential attack of a virus. The second thing that you can do is to stock up on rice. Rice is a wonderful non-inflammatory starch that, while we don't want to be eating a whole lot of starch because that feeds the bad guys, we do need some sustenance in our diets. And so if we're not going to be able to be going to the grocery store on a regular basis, rice is a great filler to use that will make your foods feel like they are going a lot farther than they really are. The third thing is to get freezable meat, like ground beef, as well as nitrate-free sausages and hot dogs. These are important ways to get meat that won't go bad, and you can turn those into meat sauces for pastas, make burgers, and do whatever you need. But getting some frozen meat, if you eat meat, is a key way to get your protein. And I would stock up on that now. Make sure that you have a good 10 servings of that in your freezer or your fridge, so that way you are not stuck without protein if you are unable to get to the grocery store. One great way that I like to get my meat is with number 4, which is buying a whole chicken rather than buying just breasts or tenders or thighs. When you buy a whole chicken, you can roast it in the oven and you put a whole bunch of salt on it so it keeps all of the juices in. And after you roast your chicken, you can have several servings of food from that chicken. But also when you're done, you can take the carcass and put it in a pot of hot water or in an Instant Pot or a crock pot and slow cook it for about 6 to 8 hours with a little bit, about a quarter cup of any kind of vinegar, which helps extract some of the minerals from the bones. But this is a great way to make some stock for soups. And if you are really stuck at home and you can't get out, at the very least, you can have your rice and your broth with your vegetables, and you can have a very healthy and hearty, nutritious soup. So number 5 is to make your soup with your slow-cooked chicken. And number 6 is to stock up on some canned, box, or dehydrated soups. These are things that have very long shelf life, and if you go to the store now, you'll be able to get some nice, healthy, organic ones that will be feeding your family in the most nutritious way possible. Number 7 is get some eggs. Eggs last for a couple weeks in the fridge, so make sure that you stock up now because eggs are an incredibly nutritious way to get a complete protein, and you're getting a lot of the good nutrients that you need in order to keep your brain and your heart healthy. Number 8 are nuts. You want to stock up on as many different kinds of nuts as possible. I particularly like the least inflammatory nuts, which are pistachios, walnuts, macadamia nuts, and almonds. These are great foods that you can snack on. They're very filling. They provide good fats, especially when you buy raw nuts. They are really good fats, and it gives your body a wonderful nutrient-dense energy pack. Number 9 is to stock up on your grass-fed butter and your olive oil, because if everything blows up and all we have are our large stockpiles of rice, we can always put olive oil and butter on it, and we will be in really good shape. Number 10 is to go ahead and buy some fresh produce and turn it into stews and soups or just general meals, and then freeze them. and put them in some glass Pyrex and put it in your freezer. So that way, a couple weeks from now, if you realize that you have an illness or someone in your family member does, or the grocery stores are undersupplied, you at least have some wonderfully nutritious meals made with some fresh vegetables that you made now. That's what I did when I was pregnant. Right before I gave birth to my daughter, I made about 3 weeks of foods and soups and stews and meals in my crock pot, and I put it all in the freezer. So that way, after she was born, I was able to pull out these wonderfully nutrient-dense meals that I knew were going to be nourishing my body and my babies. And now, for extra credit, if you do like to indulge in the occasional libation, it is a good idea to stock up on that now so you can enjoy your favorite quarantini. That's your extra credit assignment. So thank you for listening. This is The Science of Feeling Good. We're going to be doing a lot more videos at home, what to do in home quarantine, and ways to feel good when you're in your home quarantine, ways to reduce stress, ways to make your supplies last longer. So please subscribe to my channel and you'll be getting updates every time I post. Thank you.